What's up guys, William James here, and in this video I want to talk to you about how to stay consistent long enough to experience results. I've got 5 strategies that I use to keep myself consistent with different goals in my life and business, and I want to share those with you in this video. So if you're new to the channel, again, I'm William James. I do videos for affiliate marketers, network marketers, online marketers, people who are growing businesses from home using the internet. I specialize in free organic Facebook traffic strategies. I have a whole group where I teach the ins and outs of how to market on Facebook. If you're not already in the group, there'll be a link below this video where you can join the group. And of course, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and please subscribe to the channel to get to see more videos. So with that said, guys, let's dive right into it. Consistency, how to stay consistent long enough to actually experience results. I think it's very clear now from people studying human performance and the process of achieving high goals over the years. It's very clear that consistency, consistent daily action, is both the hardest thing and the number one most important thing when it comes to achieving really anything in life. The majority of people who do not achieve their goals, who kind of live a very average life where they kind of never get anywhere. They just go to work, they come home, they eat dinner, they watch TV, they go to bed. They repeat that day in and day out, and they kind of never achieve anything. The reason for that is because they are not taking consistent enough action. And oftentimes people, we're all very familiar with this. We set goals and, we kind of follow through on that for a few days, and then we lose our ability to stay consistent, and we stop doing it. Whether it's, I'm gonna adopt a certain diet, I'm not gonna eat sugar, or I'm gonna work out. I'm going to go for a run every morning, let's say, or I'm going to wake up at 5 in the morning and go have my workout or something. And, we set this resolution, and then we might do that for a day or 2 or 3 or 4. And then something happens that makes it inconvenient, and we kind of fall off the wagon and we stop doing it. And this is true in all areas of life, and it's certainly true when it comes to marketing and marketing on Facebook. Building an audience, creating a personal brand, all the stuff that that I talk about, it requires consistent daily action. And these things, I always like to remind people that none of what we do as marketers, or really none of what we do in life in general that accomplishes great things, none of those daily tasks are in themselves all that difficult. What's difficult is staying consistent. I think about this. I think about this all the time. There's a quote from I think it's Jim Rohn, that success is nothing more than a series of simple daily actions repeated, or something like that. So how do we stay consistent? How do we keep ourselves from flaking out on our goals? And I have 5 tips that I've used to do this. And I would first of all say that I am by far not the most consistent guy in the world. This is something that I really struggle with. As I think most people do, but the path to success is the path to consistency. It's the same thing. So these are the 5 things that I've felt help, and I want to share them with you. So the first one is set goals based on things that you really care about. So we know that it's going to be much easier for you to follow through on a goal if you really care about that result, getting that result. So if I set a goal that's something that I sort of feel like I should be doing, but it's not something that I deeply care about, the chances are very high that I'm going to flake out on. I'm not going to be consistent, right? So if I decide I'm going to get healthier, and so I'm going to wake up at 5 in the morning and go for a run, that's a hard thing to do. And so maybe I'm healthy enough the way I am. I don't really care that much about getting healthier, or whatever it is. I don't run, by the way. I certainly don't get up at 5 in the morning. But my point is, if I don't really care about that, I'm just not going to be doing it. So for business, it's like, what I advise is that you sit down and you spend 10 minutes and you just think, okay, what do I really want? Like, what do I really, really want in life? What do I actually care deeply about? And for many of you guys, honestly, you probably don't actually care enough about financial independence to be able to really be doing this, right? A lot of people sort of think, oh, I want to be rich, but they don't really want it enough to put in the work. So you got to really care about it. You got to sit down, decide what you care about, and then work backwards from there and say, okay, well, if I want this result, uh, these are the steps that I need to take. And this is why I want it. So knowing your why is really important. Everyone talks about this. Anyone who studies peak performance talks about this. Knowing the why that you want something. It's like you can want $1 million, but if you don't know why you want $1 million, you're never gonna get there, right? Because there's strong emotional triggers for us uh, that are really what motivates us, and it's feeling like I want to feel like I'm worth something, or I want to be able to uh, leave a legacy for my children. I want to make my children's lives easier than my life, or something, some very emotional reason why we want to do something badly enough. And then once we have that, and we have a distill your goal down into things that you need to do every day, so that you have these small goals that are in service of a bigger goal. That's like, I'm going to do this every day. And when it comes to Facebook marketing, if you're in my group, you know what the daily action plans are. I go over that, in the group. So for me, that's kind of my what I do every day in service of my goal. So that's tip number one: is set goals based on things that you really, really care about, and then come up with a plan for how to execute. Tip number two, guys, this second strategy is to set small, achievable goals and build incrementally. So it really does not work to, make this resolution that you're going to do all these different things, and you write down 20 different things that you should be doing every single day, and you're not doing any of them, and then you try to do all 20 of them. You're never going to be successful with that. For me, I sometimes do this. Like, I could fill up the entire day with things that I should be doing, that I've decided would be good for me to do. Uh, like right now, I'm walking 2 hours a day because I'm trying to get my exercise in, and so I'm walking 2 hours a day, and I can do that. But when I first made that resolution, I also made the resolution. I was like, I want to walk 2 hours a day. I want to do there's like 5 different stretches that I should be doing because I've got a little bit of shoulder tightness, and I should do my shoulder stretches, and then I should, I'm going to do some intermittent fasting. So I'm not going to eat until this point, and I'm going to do this type of workout. I'm going to do these things on Facebook. I'm going to make a YouTube video every single day. I'm going to make a post. Like I could fill up a whole notebook with like the things that I should be doing every day that I'm not doing. And if I do that, I mean, it's not that it's not useful to do that, but I'm never going to just be able to suddenly do all those things at once. And so what works a lot better is to pick, one thing, one area that you're going to do, and set small, achievable goals. Like, I'm going to go on 2 walks every day. And for me, that's achievable enough that I can actually do that. And I can sort of set aside the other stuff that I'm not going to do probably until I've got that habit really down. So we want to be forming the habit of doing certain things every day. And a lot of that is like, give yourself achievable goals that you could actually do. So maybe instead of saying, I'm gonna run for half an hour and do 500 push-ups and eat this type of food, and like, maybe let's just say, let's do 50 push-ups a day, and I'm going to do them every single morning when I wake up, whatever it is, right? So set a smaller, more achievable goal that you can actually do every day. So the next one, I'm going to skip ahead because I think this one fits better here. But the next one, the third goal, is to set time frames in which to do this consistent activity. So for me, say for instance, you want to give up sugar, right? Uh, it works a lot better. You want to give up carbs in general, which is a good idea, by the way. If you want to do that, instead of saying, okay, I'm never going to eat carbohydrate again, uh, instead say, I'm going to not eat any carbohydrates this week. And if you get to the end of the week, you're going to say, okay, I'm not going to eat any carbohydrates for the next week or a month, or and so set a time frame in which you're going to do something. We talk about like 30-day, 90-day blitzes with marketing, where maybe you say, I'm going to make a YouTube video every day for a week or a month. That's going to work a lot better than saying, I have to make a YouTube video every day indefinitely for the rest of my life. It just stresses your mind out. You know what I mean? So if you can say, I'm going to do this really consistently for X number of days, and then I'm going to reevaluate, you're much, much more likely to do that. And then at the end of that period of days, you have a good sense of accomplishment because you achieved your goal. Say you're going to do 50 push-ups a day for 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, if you did it, you're going to feel great about that. You're going to be like, yes, I accomplished my goal. And then if you want, you can do another 10 days and another 10 days or whatever it is. And you can keep doing that. But if you just say, I'm going to do 50 push-ups a day forever, your brain is a lot more likely to subconsciously consider that goal unachievable. And so you quit. You stop doing it. Yeah. So set time frames. That's number 3. Set time frames that are achievable in which to be consistent about something. Number 4, do things that create immediate results. And the one I just talked about in and of itself is kind of a result. Because I said, like, if you do a week of something, you're going to feel like, yes, I reached my goal. I got the result. I achieved something at the end of that. But it's really, really important to have positive feedback on stuff. If you're never going to stay consistent about doing something if you're not seeing any benefit to it, right? A lot of people will try to do something that they're not seeing any benefit from doing it, and so their brain tells them, well, this is pointless, and you quit. And it's tough because a lot of things you're not going to see benefits for quite a while, right? Like, say, like dieting. If you decide, okay, I'm going to eat less food, or I'm going to eat a certain healthier food or whatever, you're not going to like lose 10 pounds in the first week, right? It's just not going to happen. Like, it takes time to see results with anything in life. Going to the gym, you're not going to suddenly be Arnold Schwarzenegger just because you lifted weights for a week. It's not going to happen. It's going to take years, right? It's not going to feel like you're getting anywhere. So what you want to do is find some small type of a result that you can identify and measure and know that I'm getting somewhere. So like with Facebook, say you're building your friends list. Each day, if you can add a certain number of friends, you can see that as a tangible result. If you're saying, I want to like make a sale every day, or I want to make X amount of money or something, that's a little bit harder to measure probably than saying, I want to add 10 friends a day, or I want my engagement to go up by 10% a day or something like that on my posts, right? So something like with your Facebook daily tasks, you want to have stuff that is going to show you some type of immediate result. And that's what I like a lot about the stuff that I teach you in my group about Facebook, is that each of those things that I'm doing is something that gives me an immediate tangible result, so that I'm not just kind of I don't feel that I'm spinning my wheels. I feel that if I do this, I get this result, and I can see that measurably immediately, and that just helps me stay motivated to be consistent about that, right? So tip number 4, right, was do things that create some type of immediate result. Tip number 5, guys, the last one, is don't give up when you aren't perfectly consistent. Typically for me, I might set a goal of being consistent about a particular action, and instead of a sort of straight smooth upward trajectory of progress, my consistency is going to be more sort of like I'm consistent for a couple of days and then I'm not, and I fall off because something happens, and then I kind of get back on it, right? I go, okay, I screwed up. I got to go back to do that again. So I go back, and then I fall off again. Something happens. I'm not consistent. But over time, right, the goal is to kind of go up, like a zigzag graph, but that's generally trending up. So uh, as opposed to, you're trying to be consistent, you fail, something comes up, say you say you're going to get up at 6 o'clock every morning and do an hour of engaging on Facebook, but then you do that for a couple of days, and then you end up staying up really late, or you can't fall asleep the night before, and you don't wake up until 8 or 9, and instead of kind of giving up and going, okay, well, I give up. Instead of doing that, you go, okay, I screwed up. I'm going to go back on it. So basically, don't give up when you screw up. Keep going. And if you're not perfectly consistent, it's still better than giving up. So no one is ever going to be, flawlessly consistent, basically. So stop being a perfectionist. You're never going to set a goal of, doing some task every single day, and you're never going to be able to do it without fail. There's going to be days when life happens to you and you don't hit your mark, and that's okay, as long as you keep going, right? I mean, it's like with diets. This happens all the time, that people are saying, I'm not going to eat any junk food, and then one day you screw up and you eat a bag of Doritos or whatever, and then there's some people who will kind of go, oh well, then the hell with it, I'm just going to stop this whole thing, and then they just eat a bunch of junk food, and then they feel bad, right? Whereas instead of doing that, when people who are more successful with diets, typically, they screw up too, but they instead of giving up, they say, okay, I screw up, I'm going to forgive myself, I'm going to get back on the wagon, right? So consistency that is imperfect but generally moving forwards is really the best that you can hope for, and that's just comes with, I think you just need to accept that you're not going to be perfectly consistent, but when you're not consistent, you need to keep a hold of that vision for the goal that you're heading to. And this comes back to the first one, which is really care about that goal. Yeah, if you're obsessed with reaching that goal, and your whole life is like all about getting to that goal, then even if you fail one day, you're much more likely to not give up, to continue, to get back on the wagon, to progress forwards with doing the stuff that you want to do. Okay, so those are my 5 tips, guys. Set goals based on things that you really care about. Set small, achievable goals and build incrementally. Set time frames in which things can be accomplished, or in which to be consistent about things. Say I'm gonna do this for X amount of days, not just indefinitely. Do things that create immediate, tangible results to keep you motivated, and don't give up if you screw up. Right? Those are the 5 strategies that I've used to stay reasonably consistent. Consistent enough with the things that I want to do, that I'm moving forward. My business is growing. I'm staying healthy. I'm staying, moving in the right direction. So, hope that was helpful, guys. If it was, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. If you're also here because you're into affiliate marketing, network marketing, things like that, there's a couple of awesome programs, businesses that I recommend, especially for new people, because they're very easy, and one of them is completely done for you and guaranteed success for every single person who participates. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there'll be links underneath this video. You can check that out. And let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me a message on Facebook, and I'm happy to chat with anyone anytime. So thanks for watching, guys, and hope you have a great day. Bye.